Today on Drawbli, I am drawing a portrait.
Yes, you are.
Click that subscribe button if you're new around here.
And comment below with ideas of what we can do to improve as artists.
Abby looked at me very confused because normally I let her auto-complete whatever she thinks
You
of.
stole my line.
to title the episode. Also, share some of your art online with hashtag Drawbli. We'd love to check it out. Share it over on our Instagram, which we totally keep track of and don't forget about all the time.
Yeah, we were really good for a minute there.
For like 10 days.
Yes. Yes.
We're like, oh yeah, New Year. Let's take care of that. Oh, nope, it's gone.
So, Ben, tell me what your goal was here initially.
Well, first and foremost, I mean, this is pretty much your portrait. This is your drawing. You helped me out on it, and you did almost all of the work. I would say you did like 90% of it.
Okay, so first of all, no, I didn't. Second of all, remember how you talked about how much easier it is to work on something than a blank canvas? Mm-hmm. So yeah, you jumped me ahead to the not blank canvas step, which makes everything so much easier. Third of all, I don't know how much time I put into this compared to you.
Well, you will see. I did I think I did about 4 hours on this.
Yeah, I did not do 4 hours. I did maybe half an hour to 30 minutes to 40 minutes. So
your footage was 40 minutes.
40 minutes?
From you working on the hair, which we will get to here very soon. So while working on this portrait, my goal was to just paint a portrait. I didn't really have a specific thing that I wanted to work on, but I started leaning more into my own process and techniques that I've picked up on by going through the Ahmed Al-Dori class and just all the practice that we've been doing here on Drawbli. And I think the kind of general style that I lean into here is more in the direction of, if you remember my 2 portraits that I made on vacation when we went to Florida. I had 2 different portraits of those. If I remember, I will link them down below. But it was the girl that you said looked like an Egyptian, and then it's like the 3/4 girl like looking down, saying like, "Oh, you peasants."
So good.
So this one kind of turns out in a very similar style. As you can see, I've also been playing around with a little bit of these like sketchy contours, like cross contours.
Of you.
Yeah, and that is actually my exact inspiration for those ideas. But I don't know, it's just like so messy the way I do it, or it's so messy here in the beginning that it doesn't work super well. So a lot of my process here in the beginning, I actually really love where this is right now. But,
right now it looks so cool.
Yeah, it's just like a big push into adjusting the proportions, blending the skin, and really polishing things up to a finished level.
Yeah.
And also trying to figure out how to draw lips from a 3/4 perspective.
You did great. So what's funny is you handed it to me and said, "Hey, you wanna take a stab at this?" And you said specifically
the lips, specifically the mouth.
But
and you
I did
like one brush stroke on the mouth.
I did a lot of work on the mouth actually, but it was very subtle because you actually did a really good job and there wasn't that much for me to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so sweet of you.
Yeah.
I actually really like where it is right now, that like that contoured sketchy look. I almost wish I would have kept that as strong as it was. And I actually put in a little more of that at the end.
Cool.
I keep it kind of a subtle effect, but you'll see the finished version here shortly.
Nice, yeah. No, it was so fun to get to work on a piece of yours that was so like strongly like your style. Like I could still see when you handed it to me a lot of those marks. Right here, it still looks really cool. Yeah, you could have definitely left a lot of those in, I think.
Yeah, I wasn't confident enough. I didn't have the bold decision-making skills to be able to say, yes, I'm keeping it this way.
Well.
Only if I was brave enough to just say yes to my artwork.
I need to tell you about a terrifying decision I made yesterday real quick.
Oh, God.
That was so scary.
Tell me about your terrifying, just go, let's hear it.
I went to my wedding dress alterations appointment.
Oh.
And the one thing I didn't like about my wedding dress was this lace that was on the bottom. It looked very like Italian wedding to me, and the rest of the dress is very like in the woods of nature, very pretty. And
spoilers.
I know, right? And I told her to cut it off.
Whoa.
Yeah, I just said cut it off, and she did.
And she did.
And I felt so good as soon as she did.
Really?
It was so scary though, because a wedding dress is a big purchase.
Did you ask her what she thought about it?
Yes. She's edited hundreds of dresses, and she could tell, she was reading my body language too. She said, you know, starting out, she was like, I'm going to be reading your body language. I'm not a mind reader, but I am very good at like body language, and I'm very good at reading how people are feeling as things go on. And she was like, anytime I was just like hemming and hawing, or it clearly wasn't like
hemming and hawing. Are you a horse? What?
That's not a real phrase.
I thought that, like, you know, hemming and hawing to me is like a horse,
like
scraping.
A hem how thing.
Okay.
And she was so good about that. She used to alter 600 dresses a year, which for wedding dresses is huge.
That's insane. That's like
she does it part-time now, but I felt really lucky to get to go see her, and it was very reasonable too in terms of
very
cost.
Reasonable.
Yes.
Only $40,000.
No, thank God. Yeah, it was a crazy experience. Okay, I think this is where I start working on this now.
Nope, not yet.
Oh, no, are you sure?
I will let you know when it gets to the part where you work on it.
Oh, okay.
This is
still you.
This is still me, but it's about to be you.
Yeah.
Because I hand this to you, and I looked at the footage of you working on it, and I can see your brain working, because you start to zoom in on, you start to look at the mouth, and then you're like, but this hair over here. And then you spend the next 40 minutes of the footage working on just the hair.
I'll have to tell you why, but I'm not sure it's kind.
Okay. All right, that's fine. You're not gonna hurt my feelings.
Are you sure?
This is after I work on the lips a little bit, because I draw this center line. This is something I've been doing a little bit as well to help figure out my mouth, nose, forehead. It helps me work on the perspective a little more.
Yeah.
So I believe now.
Yes, this is me.
You. It is. I think you just started in, and you're like, I'm gonna work on this ear first.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do work on the ear first.
So tell me your unkind.
Okay,
things.
so these large, like, yellowish strands that you have as her hair, which are present in the reference, the striations on them remind me of lobster antenna.
Lobster antenna?
Yes,
Whoa, that's so cool. That's absolutely what I was going for.
So that's my unkind thing that I had to say.
Wow, my feelings are so hurt and broken. How will I ever recover?
I did work on the mouth.
Okay, well, hold on. You did a brush stroke on the top lip. Okay, we're done. We're already past it. We're already past the mouth part.
I came back and worked on it more. I even adjusted the hue later.
We are past the mouth section.
I gave her lower lashes.
Thank you for helping me on the mouth.
And then I adjusted her eyebrows, and I adjusted her eye, made it lighter.
Wow.
And then I felt bad that she looked like Obi-Wan Kenobi with her little braid down the back of her head.
Yes, absolutely.
So I pulled out strands from it, essentially. I made it bigger.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed working on that. And then another thing I really enjoyed doing was adding these slim golden strands to her hair. Again, I didn't look at the reference at all. But this
Which you shouldn't have. I mean,
right.
References for the weak, as we know.
And then I compared a little.
You heard it here first on Drawbli. References for chumps.
References for the weak. So yeah, I fleshed out her hair a lot here to give it some oomph. And well, I just want to say though, this was such a delight to work on. It is so fun to work on something that's not a blank canvas and get to the finished stage, because I rarely get to this stage. I don't know if I've ever gotten quite to this stage of a drawing before.
What?
Where it's so refined and finished. And it was so fun, because normally my stuff stays so sketchy and yours looks like such a finished piece of art. So I was just having the time of my life running around on this thing and editing this, that, and the other little thing. We might be back. Are we back to you? Or
yes, we are back to me, past the part of you working on it. So what do? I immediately go back to my mouth, and I'm like, okay, well, she did nothing to this.
I did so much. You're a liar.
I should put them both up on screen from those two stages of a side by side.
It was subtle. You will, and you shall, and people will know.
I will not, because I would have to undo on my image, and I'd be afraid that I'd mess it up and lose all my progress on it. But anyway, here I'm going back in. I'm like, I actually really enjoyed all these cool contoured lines. I thought it was such a cool aesthetic. a cool effect, and I want to try to get some of this back in. And even at this stage, and I skipped a little bit here, but I went back over my sections of the face and reblocked out the color sections and made really simplistic shapes, like a painter would. And I faded those out very slightly, you'll see here. Oh. And then I blurred them, and this helped to like neutralize my skin into a more, not airbrushed, but some of the values in the face were like all over the place, and that really helped to bring it to a little bit of a closer place. And you can still see those lines on there, but they're so subtle now. I feel like I should have been more bold with it, you know?
I love the headband. I almost forgot to tell you. I absolutely love the headband.
It's such a simple shape. I don't know what you love about it.
I love it. I didn't even touch it when I was working, and then I was like, that is such an iconic piece of that. That and the gold piece in her hair. I loved the way you did that. I just loved this portrait. You did such amazing work on this. Her skin, if I could render faces and skin like that, I would be so happy.
You just got to paint some apples. It's all about the apples.
It's all about the apples.
And if you want to be all about the apples, click that subscribe button.
And comment below with ideas of what we can do to improve as artists.
Share some of your art online with #Drawbli.
And this is the part where we say goodbye.
Goomba.
This was so fun. We should work on more art together like this. I should hand you one of my pieces for 40 minutes. That would be
then
so fun.
You can tell me to work on your character's mouth, and I'll ignore it completely. And...
I didn't ignore it. I didn't. But her hair, I like what I did to her hair.